Oh, that's right. You know what time it is. It's time for the Sugarcreek Forge Build-Along 2012. I got my hand on the fire, putting the fire to the steel. Come on, Sugarcreek Forge, won't you tell me what's the deal? Right.
Hey everybody, let's profile a knife today. My life is about to get super busy, just my business. I've got a bunch of trainings and stuff coming up, and it's just crazy. So I figured I better get cracking and get this video up. All the boxes are mailed out. I think there was one address I didn't have, and that's going out tomorrow morning, and it's on. So we're going to talk about profiling a knife today, and I'm just going to try to keep it simple, straight, direct. I thought through a couple of tips maybe for you if you don't have a lot of equipment at all, even maybe a vise, maybe you live in an apartment or somewhere where it's tough. And so I thought that through a little bit, and I'll show you a couple little tricks here today, and hope you enjoy this. Kind of think through this, look over it, maybe get some stuff together as your box is coming. I want to thank our sponsor, all of our sponsors, but particularly today I want to thank Admiral Steel. I'll put up some information for Admiral Steel. They provided everything that we have sent out that we're going to be using. They gave to us, and so grateful for those guys. I love working with them. I love ordering steel from them because big or small, big order, small order, they just treat you the same, very kindly, and a good prompt service, quality product. For this build, we're using cold rolled annealed 1095. Cold rolled annealed steel is softer than hot rolled and easier to work. It's 3/32 of an inch, and Admiral Steel carries this in stock. The first thing that I do is use a simple all-in-one printer that also makes copies, and I make a photocopy of the design of my knife. The reason I do this is so that I can keep my original copy in case I mess it up and just make another copy and go from there. Then cut it out with a sharp pair of scissors. If you cut it out a little bit undersized, it should fit right onto the steel, and you can glue it right onto the steel for a template. That's what I've done here. I just used some glue, spread it on the paper, stuck it on the steel, and let it dry. Another way to do this is simply take a permanent marker like this Sharpie and trace around your paper onto the steel or draw it freehand. It's going to be very important to hold your work securely so that it's easy to work on the piece of steel, and also it's safer for cutting and later for filing. And so I want to show you two simple options. You've got a very inexpensive C-clamp on the left and a square U-bolt on the right. Both of these were a little over $2, and I want to show you a simple fixture that you can make for using them. So this is the handy dandy fixture. This works great if you live in an apartment, you don't have a workshop, you don't have many tools or a vise. This will be really useful for you. It's just a scrap piece of 2x4 and then a scrap piece of handle slab material on top. The steel is slid between them, and then you tighten down that square U-bolt tightly. Then you can sit on this on a surface or screw it down to something, and you have something that's very handy. It's very safe for filing and for cutting, and I'll show you just a little clip of me using this, and this is something very simple to make and a great tool. So here's how you use it. I'm just sitting down on it, my body weight holds it down, and the work is held very securely for me to saw with. Of course, if you have a bench vise like this one, by all means use it. It's going to be a lot easier. So just cut carefully and slowly. Remember, it's easy to cut off, but you can't glue it back on. Well, my cheap hacksaw gave out, and I'm going to have to switch to another one. I should know better than buy something this cheap, so we'll go to a regular hacksaw that I have. And it's that simple. There's our profiled knife. You can see that I stayed close to the lines, but in a couple spots didn't get too close and left some metal on for filing. If you look carefully in the guard area, you can see I left extra metal and also didn't cut the choil out yet because I like to design those more by feel. I file and then feel how the knife feels, then file some more and get it just right that way. I hope that's been helpful for you. There's more than one way to do it. I'm just showing a couple of ways and a couple different variations. You can lay your knife out on your steel by putting the paper down and spray painting paint over the whole thing, letting it dry and peeling the paper up, and then you kind of have a negative image of the knife on the steel. You can do that. You can clamp your knife or cut it, with hand tools in any way that you feel. That little jig is super handy, especially if you don't have a bench vise. And again, you'll see that tool again. And so while you're waiting for your steel, you might want to get something like that and fool around with it and see if that can't be ready for when your steel comes. We're also going to use that little jig. I'm going to show you examples of how to use that for when we actually file the bevels on the knife and do some other work on there too. We can use it to hold something to drill with our drill, and it's just a really handy little gadget. And I think about anyone can make something like that. It's very, very inexpensive. Again, my local hardware store, I think I paid $2 for that square bracket, and then I had the scraps laying around. So thanks a lot, and see you next time.
Oh, that's right. You know what time it is.